Hi, we're back. I just wanted to actually show you a really neat feature that we have really not explored yet, but I'd like to explore a lot more, especially as we really get into this project of building our true life budget. So as you notice, you can actually create a pie graph of your budget. This is pretty cool. So here's my spreadsheet for $5,000. By the way, hopefully your spreadsheet looks similar to this. And I have some values here. I have some rent, rent, utilities, food, etc. And these numbers are my real values based on um, a life that someone could live. And I can actually look at this as a graph. So what I can do is I can say, all right, let's actually look at this from a graphical point of view. Here are my real life values. You could also do this with ideal values as well. Here are my real life values. And if you see right in the corner here, all right, there's this little plus sign that says explore, no recommendations. But if you click on it, you actually get some very interesting things. So first things first is you get a bar graph of your data. And it's very, Google has gotten really smart about how they make this happen. And you can actually click and drag this out. And now you actually have a bar graph that shows you your rent, your utilities, your food, your transportation, and actually titles everything for you and says life budget. It's pretty smart. It knows what to do. Um, I'm going to delete that for a second just by pressing delete. And I'm going to go back and highlight that same data. And I'll click that explore button. And right here, I think very useful in this case, if you're looking at percentages of a whole thing, is the pie chart. All right? And so you actually have this beautiful pie chart, very nicely constructed without really doing much of anything at all, that shows you your actual budget. And I'm having a little difficulty dragging this up, but there we go. I had to grab it. Okay? And you can actually create this pie chart that'll show you, and it gives you your percentages right off the bat. So you're 40% for rent, 10% for utilities, 8% for food, etc. And if you were to go in and change the value, so for example, let's say your utilities went up to $700 a month, it would then change. And what's pretty cool, it changes everything. And it, of course, because we put a formula in for savings, it actually changes everything. And you could actually compare this. You could compare this to the ideal budget according to the percentages that we've established. So I could highlight that data and actually drag this out. And this would be the ideal budget. Okay, it looks like we're spending a little bit more on rent and a little bit less in some other areas. And then you could actually edit this. You can change the font. You can do lots of things to this. So obviously right now I have the two pie charts and they look really similar. If I click one of them and click this little arrow here and hit advanced edit, it will bring me to a more advanced editor and I can do lots of stuff. So I can title the chart, I can say ideal budget. All right. I can change fonts, colors, backgrounds, and you'll see in that case I just change the title, ideal budget. I can go advanced edit here. I can do the same thing in real life budget, my ideal versus my real life. You could even go in and change the chart type. So if you just wanted to see, if I go to advanced edit, you can go to chart types. And there are all sorts of different kinds of charts. I like the pie chart because, especially for this, because it's a percentage of your budget. But there are all different kinds of charts that are available to you. But the pie chart is the best for this particular issue or this particular representation of data. So you have your ideal budget, real life budget. There you are. And now you can create these pie charts for yourself. And by the way, like I said, let's say this went down to $4,000. Your budgets would change, and you can see that if your take-home pay went down to $4,000, you'd be only $150 in savings. So that really takes a big chunk out of your life here. So it's pretty cool. You can actually see the pie charts change as you change the inputs. All right, so you're going to be creating pie charts for your ideal budget and your real life budget in the lesson. Thanks, guys.